a Monday morning. Jackie Austin
Hello.
is our hostess,
Hostess. There you go.
special guest today.
I brought with me Ron Ellison from American Title. He hasn't been in a while, so I'm excited to have you here.
It's been tough to get out of downtown. Lots going on downtown, so it's tough to get out.
Is it?
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Tough travel down there.
Well, we're not doing any work on the streets right now, but yeah, it's
There's so much going on, you just want to be there.
Oh, okay.
So, how have things been?
things have been great. I mean, last year I think was a spectacular year in everybody's world in our business. In talking to, or listening to, better yet, that's hard for me to get a word in edgewise, but listening to my lender customers, they are all talking about after the first of the year, their phones are ringing and they are busy, and I think that's great for all of us because, the weather this time of year psychologically does a lot to people as far as getting out and about. And look at today versus a year ago.
Yeah.
And so I'm hearing a lot of positive stuff about the market right now.
Yeah, there was when we had that really bad cold snap, it slowed down at our office, but the last week or so it's been nice and people have been out looking at houses and moving around, and that's good. So things are moving.
Right.
We like it. So,
What about interest rates?
they're still good.
Aren't they as low as they're
They're low. The government keeps talking about
raising?
them, but again, we're still closing deals at 3.5%, 3.75%, 4%. There's still a lot of good money. I mean, interest rates are not a reason not to buy now.
Right.
Funny, over the weekend I hear that our friends in Washington want to make it more affordable for people to buy and want to lower credit standards a little bit and want to lower PMI. So again, if we're going to lower credit rates or credit standards, we got to remember what got us in our problem to start with, and to keep talking about wanting to let more first-time home buyers in the market. But I think we need to be careful, and some people might say credit's a little bit tight, but based on what we went through, I don't think that's a bad thing right now.
Lenders won't want to make that mistake again, will they?
Local lenders won't want to make that mistake.
No.
Again, I look at what some of the big box lenders are doing and trying to get creative again, and
Well, I'm hearing Washington wants to go after the big banks. That's what they're saying. You might hear that tomorrow night.
okay.
State of
You
the
mean
Union.
I have to listen tomorrow night?
I didn't say you had to listen.
How about I listen to you Wednesday morning and you give me a recap?
We'll recap it.
Yeah. I got better things to do than listen to the state of the
Yeah.
state of the state or state of the United States. I don't know, but yeah, I'll tune in early Wednesday.
All right.
You let me know.
There you go. Talking about market, just kind of some statistics I pulled up here. The average sale price last year was $116,200 in Jackson County, which is great. The year before it was only $104,000, so things are moving up.
That sounds
The
hefty.
percentage of foreclosures that sold was down to 20.6 last year versus 34.5 the year before, and back in 2010 it was 85.1. So looking way better nowadays.
Wasn't it 2 years ago that it was in the 80s, wasn't it?
It was 2010, 11. It was in the 80s.
80s?
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite
Yeah.
a jump.
So that's quite a difference, which is great. So.
Well, and it's nice to see the foreclosures taper off. I mean, when Jackie, at one point we were looking at 50% of the market, or close to.
On the, in listings,
Yeah.
it was crazy. Might have even been a little bit higher than that, so,
It's nice to pick up the legal news and see it get thinner and thinner every week,
yeah,
which is a good sign for everybody.
that is good, so.
Except the lawyers.
Now remember, most of those foreclosures are done by out-of-town attorneys, so we don't care about that.
Well,
We don't want.
Foreclosures and other issues
That
in
is
the
true.
legal news.
That is true.
Oh, Lordy. So, active listings right now, we're down on our count again. We are down to, last time I looked, it was 760 listings on the market. And in Jackson County, in a regular market, we were holding about 1,200. So, if you're looking to sell your house, now's a good time to put it on. There's not a lot of competition out there. So.
Well, and I hear that from a lot of people coming in, is that good listings are selling, good listings it's a shortage, so you're right.
Yeah.
Is that the weather's great, the market's great, the interest rates are great, so if you're gonna sell, it's a great time to do that.
Right, yep, so. Well, any other questions about the market? Things are,
Well, you know,
Looking good.
being that I spend most of my time downtown, you know, the market downtown, I know, Jackie, you're part of the Young Professionals.
I am.
And we've got the Anchor Initiative, we've got the Young Professionals. And I guess as I look downtown, when a good building, everybody's looking for buildings downtown to renovate and put housing because, what was the study? I think,
Mishta did a study and we're short several thousand market rate units in downtown, meaning there is enough market out there that those could be filled. So the good investors are out there right now looking for buildings that can be apartments and maybe small condos.
Where are those people going?
where are they going?
Yeah.
Well, number
Or
one.
where are they?
Where are
Well,
they?
if you were
If you're
talking,
talking about a couple thousand, that's a
yeah,
lot.
I might
can't
say,
remember what
I
they
might
said.
say that might be a touch high, but.
Little high.
But I can tell you that if you know anybody that has housing downtown, and if you've got a good rental unit,
Oh.
you have a waiting list.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
So the demand is there. And from talking and listening to the people at Allegiance and at Consumers, they've got people that work there that may live, you know, young people today don't want to live in Napoleon or Brooklyn or what, they want to be downtown.
They want to
And
be
again,
within walking distance.
you know,
of their-
and so the
what they're
demand is
doing.
there that if the unit were there, I think those people are gonna move.
Yeah, I know in my
Mhm.
conversations with young professionals in the group, there are quite a few that are looking for apartments in downtown, and if they were available, they would take them. And unfortunately, they're just not available. And they want some amenities and things like that. They want them to be nice apartments. You know, they don't want just anything. They're being a little picky, which is good. You know, for people that are looking to develop, this is a good opportunity. So I know Laura's converting her office building into apartments. And so she's adding 14 units to the downtown area. She's not exactly downtown, but she's only
Close.
a quarter of a mile away.
Yeah, that's
so,
walking distance.
right, it's good.
Well, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, what I'm hearing.
You've never been wrong, have you?
Yeah, I have twice.
Is your wife listening? I'll talk.
No,
Okay.
she's off today, so.
Okay, great.
Over at Allegiance, all the hires there, what I'm hearing is they live in Ann Arbor, Chelsea.
You know, because there's some dynamics
Georgia
there.
might beat my knuckles with a ruler.
You know, Georgia's been up front. Georgia spoke at the Association of Realtors.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, not everybody that works there is gonna live in Jackson. We understand. I mean, culturally, there's issues, you know, lifestyle, things like that. Georgia is a cheerleader for getting people at the hospital to live in Jackson.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna
I
tell you.
understand that.
But again, we don't have, there's a supply issue. I mean, you know, I live in Washtenaw County, and it's a totally different market over there. They have new construction going on as far as spec housing. And over there, you know, they build to that market over there. Over here, it's tough to get spec housing. We have a shortage of housing for those people. You know, so that's tough. That doesn't happen overnight, but
Would you call it a conundrum?
yes, I would. I can't spell it, but I would call it
There
that.
you
But
go.
it's just a matter of creating the supply over here. That's tough right now because again, they want a certain lifestyle and gradually it's happening. You know, I mentioned to Jackie when we came in, I think this Young Professionals is long-term is something that's going to be very positive for this community. You know, I've talked to a few of the people, you know, gone to some of the meetings about Anchor Initiative and whatever. And again, this isn't going to happen overnight, but we, because I'm not a young professional anymore, we need to listen to those people
Yeah.
because they're a big part of this market.
And it's a great group. I don't typically like those types of groups. I don't know why. I've just had this thing against them. But I got into this one, and they are so energetic and so positive about Jackson, which is what I think Jackson needs, is people that want to be here and want to contribute to the community and make it their own. And I think that they're doing a good job of that. They've only been around less than a year, and they've already made an impact, I think, in the community.
And you know, Greg, you've talked to the mayor and you keep bringing up the Hayes Hotel.
Yeah.
That, in my opinion, is the wild card and is a key to helping downtown come back.
Would that be a launching pad?
Oh, that would be huge. And
Is that
I'm,
feasible?
in my opinion, yes. I mean,
Really?
I have, behind the scenes, I've seen a lot of the proposals, I've seen a lot of the players, I've talked to a lot of the players. And what I see behind the scenes with this proposal and this group, this, in my opinion, is the most positive thing to come from that building, and, you know, the demand. And the guy that's behind trying to put this together has got a great track record. And I hope it works, because if it doesn't work, and I hope I'm right that it works, if this didn't work, I'm going to look at the city and say, wow, what are we going to do now? Because it's a beautiful building on the outside, but a lot of good people have taken a pass at it. So I know the city's working. There's a lot of good people behind the scenes wanting to make this work.
It'll be a huge investment.
It will be a huge investment, but it'll be a launching pad, because it's all, I'm sorry, going to trickle down. I mean, it's going to bring jobs, it's going to bring construction. And it's going to bring housing, so it's the best plan. And again, I've had an opportunity to listen to the guy leading this group, and pretty impressive. So stay on the mayor and tell him, and tell your mom also, Jackie, that this community needs that, because this is a shot in the arm that will tie in with a lot of the young professional stuff. Because had a local business person who rents downtown, somebody's trying to convince him to move out of the city, and I'm telling him to wait, because I think it's only going to get better downtown.
Yeah, I think everything's improving downtown. There's, you can walk down there in the middle of the day and the downtown is full, and it's great. You didn't always have that. There are obviously times when it's not that way, but we can get there if we can get more housing downtown, more people living down there, spending their time down there. Get more retail would be great, things like that. So
Ron, what do you think about a baseball team downtown?
Wow, wouldn't that be great? I mean,
Would it work?
will it work?
That's a coin toss.
Well, that is a coin toss, but again, having listened and paid attention to some of the meetings or whatever, the interest is there. I think location is important, and I know they're in the second phase of that, but the baseball park really would be more than baseball. Multi-use. I mean, I know there's certain things that go on at the fairground that it wouldn't break the county's heart to see it move somewhere else. And again, it's a drawing card. It gives you more options. When you look at what situations like that have done in other communities, I think we can only hope for the best. And again, Dan Du Bois has got a good business plan, and he's talking to a lot of good people, and the chamber's doing what they can. So again, look at what's going on right now. It can only help the community. So location, whether it's a ballpark or whether it's apartments or housing or whatever. So yeah. So
But there's stuff missing downtown. I mean, there's no drugstore downtown.
that's
grocery store would be
Obviously, hotels haven't worked downtown.
well, I'm not talking out of school, but part of the revitalization of the Hayes, the concept that's worked in other markets is going to the Allegiances of the world and the Consumers of the world and getting guarantees on room nights. Because if you talk to those people, they're bringing people in here. Where are they staying? They're staying out on 94 and 27. And so the demand is here. You just need the right plan. So small steps. Greg, I think, and I hope a year from now, when Laura's on vacation again and Jackie and I are talking with you, I can say, wow, look at the steps we've taken. Just again, with the Anchor Initiative, with the possibility of the Hayes Hotel, because the farm, everybody's in business to make a buck. And so as much as we love downtown, you know, nobody's gonna go out and say, well, let's subsidize a pharmacy or whatever, so yeah.
You've been down there a long time. Do you see more people downtown?
You know, it's a roller coaster.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot better today than it was 20 years ago. I can tell you 20 years ago, at 5 o'clock on a Saturday or a Friday afternoon, you could shoot a gun down Michigan Avenue and probably not hit anybody. So, you know, I've been there. I've seen it in small steps. Now, obviously, losing 151, Darryl Slash was a setback.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I look at what Chase has done. I look at the Jazz Club. I see a lot of, again, small steps versus one big anchor. The anchor we need is the Hayes Hotel, because that creates all kinds of activity. So yeah, I haven't given up on downtown.
No, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Well, it's you know, I can play
That's what
devil's.
they pay me to do.
That's true, but you got to look at the positive spin. We can always talk about stores closing and this and that, but again, look at all the little things that are going on there. And again, you know, the LeMaster.
Yeah, there's a lot of pluses.
There are a lot of pluses. Look at the brewery. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people going in there. So the market's there. You just need to create.
So you think the Hayes is going to be kind of a linchpin?
I hope so. Yeah. It's. I like to gamble, but again, I hope a year from now I can say, "See, damn, we're heading the right direction." So.
Yeah. Well, in downtown, it's going to have a challenge over the next year with the dig downtown happening and ripping up Michigan Avenue. But we hope everybody keeps coming down and supporting the businesses, and they're, you know, trying to make it easy for people to still get downtown. So hopefully that doesn't discourage people from coming down, because once it's done, I think it's going to be fabulous.
Well, you know, the funny thing, and you talk about that, Jackie, everybody's going, I can't park in front of Belinote. You know, if I go out to Westwood and I park down by Comerica, and walking from there to the front entrance is almost like parking in my parking lot and walking, I'm going to say, quote, downtown. There's a lot of parking.
Oh, yeah.
And again, if we were in Ann Arbor, we wouldn't be having this
Right.
conversation. So we've got to support the merchants downtown, because we got to get over this mindset that, oh my God, I can't park in front of the building right now.
So I'll come back. Yeah.
Do I need to get a little shuttle from my office or a little golf cart?
But that is, as silly as it sounds, that's an
Psychological.
obstacle.
Sure it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Psychological obstacle.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Well, thanks, Ron. We're about out of time here, so I'm glad you came. We probably have tons more we could talk about. So
we could.
We could just go on.
Go
Jackie, I
on
look
and
forward
on
to
and
a year
on.
ago saying Greg, see?
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Real quick before we leave, we've got two new listings: 6190 6200 Spring Arbor Road. I don't know much about that property. It's 299, building with over 6,700 square feet on it. So I'm pretty sure it's a commercial building. And then 3128 Lori Drives, also in Spring Arbor, 124.9, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, just over 1,200 square feet. That's a cute house. You could move right in, got a basement that could be finished for additional space if you want. So give me a call if you're interested in either of those, or if you want to put your house on the market, 780-3800.
If you have a question for Ron, you can always call him, leave a message.
787-4830.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.